Hello! Welcome to this week's unedited version. We have ran out of time this week when we were recording, so I won't have time to edit this, so wish us luck.
We'll have extra cat noises, probably.
Yeah, we were supposed to get some projects done, but we couldn't get the podcast stuff moved in time and got 6 inches of snow, so I couldn't move the stuff I wanted to move downstairs, and it's been a hot mess. So, with further ado, here is our unedited story of the Idaho Penitentiary in Boise, Idaho. Is that how you say that? Penitentiary? Penitentiary?
Penitentiary?
Am I just adding a syllable?
Penitentiary.
Penitentiary? Yeah. Whatever. Alright, so it was built in 1870, and it is one of only 4 territorial prisons open to the public today. So it's not like open, it's open to like go look at. And I saw mixed reviews. I saw 100 or 101 years of operation. Oh, also, just in case anyone's wondering, this is a story I'm telling Alan. He has no input. Well, he has input, but he didn't do any research for this. This is all a surprise to him.
Alan did no work.
I gave him off for this one. All right, so my notes are a little scrambled, but I try to put them in order. So, began as a one-cell house, and it quickly grew into a complex of buildings surrounded by a large sandstone wall. And then, as a part of the prisoners' penance, it said that it said mined nearby rock quarries to build the very walls that would hold them captive. So they built their own prison. It says over the next 100 years, more than 13,000 convicts, including 215 women, would call the Idaho State Penitentiary home. That's just how it's being said.
Penitentiary?
At least 110 of them died within their self-made walls from old age, illness, and murder. And death sentences. I didn't put that, but yeah, and death sentences. Which I guess is murder, but still. In Idaho's history, only 11 state executions took place. 10 of them were carried out here at this prison. I'm going to start saying prison.
Penitentiary?
Yeah.
No, I can't think of how to say it correctly.
This prison held up to 600 prisoners at one time, and the inmates suffered through almost inhumane... Almost. I don't know why I said almost. That's not even in my sentence. And the inmates suffered... Oh, it did. Through almost inhuman conditions. I don't know why it's almost.
Inhuman? Is it inhumane?
It says inhuman, but I'm pretty sure it's supposed to say inhumane. The sandstone that formed its walls was a plentiful and inexpensive building material, but is also intensified the But it is also intensified the temperatures inside the cells. In the hot Boise summers, the sandstone retained the heat, creating a stifling oven effect. In winter, the walls held the bitter cold, chilling the prisoners for months. So it sounds like it sucked no matter what season it was.
The way you said it sounded it chilled them for months. It was lovely.
It was a lovely chill. Proper plumbing didn't reach the prison until the 1920s, an unpleasant condition that also spread disease. This was complicated by the prison's ill-working ventilation system. Conditions like these pushed inmates to the edge, and guards answered violence with more violence until 1971, when prisoners reached their breaking point. So then they said in 1971 and again in 1973, riots broke out. Prisoners burned the chapel and dining hall to the ground and damaged many other buildings. The 1973 riot was the more severe one of the two, and shortly thereafter, prisoners were moved to the more modern penitentiary south of Boise. On December 3rd of that year, the penitentiary was closed down. Not long after, it was placed on the National Register of Historic Places. It says the buildings themselves, however, were left exactly as they were at the end of the riots in 1973. From the smoke and fire blackened stone walls to the calendar still hanging on the cell walls, walking through the cell block is enough to give anyone a serious case of the creeps. They said there's 3 big names, but this was the most notorious inmate, was Raymond Allen Snowden, and he was a man once dubbed Idaho's Jack the Ripper. And then it just states again how it met its demise in 1973 from that riot. And then there have been many accounts of unusual happenings in the prison complex. It says, but Five House, so that's what it calls it, Five House, the building where Snowden was executed, seems to be the most active. Some speculate Snowden's spirit never left, haunting the grounds since that October morning in 1957. So I think Snowden was one of the prisoners that was hung. And he didn't die right away. I think they said it didn't break his neck, so he hung there for quite some time. So about a year after the prison was placed on the National Register of Historic Places, it opened up for tours. Guides and visitors attest to the sinister feelings, strange sounds, voices, and the dark entities they feel are still lurking in the cell blocks of Old Idaho State Penitentiary. All of the eerie activities intensifies near the frightening solitary confinement cell, which is dubbed Siberia by the inmates, and the gallows. So, I mean, hearing the history beforehand and just knowing there were murders there and just the conditions there, it already sounds like it'd be haunted.
Mm-hmm.
So it said the gallows, also known as the Rose Garden, stands where 6 out of the 10 people hanged at the old pen reportedly cause severe headaches. So people, when you go there, cause severe headaches among the visitors. Also commonly reported are sightings of a red light floating around. And even a ghostly figure of a prisoner tending to the roses, just as they would when they were alive. So it looks like I don't know, I guess some people were having fun tending to roses. Or maybe not. Obviously, that could have been their job. The solitary confinement section, or Siberia, is known for giving its visitors what can only be described as a heavy feeling of a negative emotion, unease, and otherworldly presence. So people just felt very dark presence over there. And then back to, this one worded it Cell House 5 instead of 5 House. So I guess it gets used interchangeably. The opening and closing of cell doors has been reported, as well as full-body apparitions, and the sounds of someone struggling for air, gurgling and gasping as if choked by a badly tied noose. That would be terrible. I feel like I would want to get out by that point.
Yeah, I think it'd be cool to visit.
I do as well.
I don't like that part.
No. Visitors as well as staff have reported hearing footsteps echoing in the halls when there's no one else around. Disembodied voices have been heard, and those who have participated in walking tours have reported being touched and sometimes even pushed by unseen hands. Most people that have entered the penitentiary say that they had a feeling of being watched, and it is also very common to hear reports of apparitions and shadowy figures.
Figurines would be creepy,
That
too.
would be really creepy. Lingering throughout the abandoned prison. So I didn't get any, that's just the gist of what you could experience if you find yourself there. You can go on tours. They're very cheap. Like, for an adult, it's $8. And then you spend an extra $2 if you want it guided. But what's really cool is every once in a while, they had one in April and in March, so I don't know if it's monthly. You can join Big River Paranormal, and they bring their equipment and knowledge of the place and try to connect with the prisoners and guards there and all the spirits.
Very cool.
One of them showed like $40. I would totally do that. So it's like a night tour with ghost hunters.
We watched Ghost Adventures episode there. Remember?
Did we for this one?
Yeah. I don't remember if they found anything there. It was just all I remember in the episode was them climbing up a hill and then Zach being afraid of snakes.
Oh, I didn't know that was this one.
I remember,
Good memory.
Thanks. I just remember the Rose Garden and that.
Oh. I did see that they said that they went there. I just didn't look at which episode. So, short and sweet.
It was short and sweet.
Was my story of the Idaho Penitentiary.
Ooh, you almost said it. Penitentiary.
Welcome to this week's.
I want to say penitentiaries.
I can't pronounce anything. This should have been an easy word. So.
Hey, what do you call it when the sky looks like something bad's gonna happen?
Ominous. Oh, crap! Oh my god! Oh my gosh! Ominous.
Almost.
Ominous.
Good job.
Damn it.
The ominous penitentiary.
Alan gets me with this word every once in a while. I really suck at saying oh my god.
Ominous?
Because you put it in my brain, I can't say it again.
You put extra syllables in.
I do. I add like a whole bunch of letters for no reason. Thank you for that. Well, this week was short and sweet, but I wanted to bring a cool history for a cool place to go visit, and the fact that you can go visit it and experience all these things, I think is pretty cool, and it's very cheap to go.
I do want to go to Idaho. I went. What? No, I didn't quite make it to Idaho. I want to see the natural stuff because it's really cool, and I want to go see this now.
Yeah, Add it to our bucket list. Well, thank you guys for listening. If you have any stories you want to share with us, please send them to creepytravelspodcast@gmail.com. Otherwise, have a great day, and we'll talk to y'all next week.